Think Tonga is just about tropical beaches and coconuts? Think again. Wait until you find out about the country where it's illegal to exercise on Sundays, where men wear skirts by law, and where obesity is actually celebrated. You won't believe what happens next. Number 15. It's literally illegal to work out on Sundays in Tonga. You heard right, in this deeply Christian Pacific nation, it is prohibited by law to conduct business on Sunday, as well as to exercise or do sports. Imagine being a fitness influencer and facing actual jail time for posting your morning jog. Activities such as exercising in public, swimming, playing sport, dancing, listening to loud music, and fishing are illegal on Sundays. Picture this. You're visiting Tonga, decide to go for a swim at the public beach on Sunday morning, and suddenly you're being questioned by local police. The only exception? If you're staying at a resort, where tourists get special privileges the locals don't. So while hotel guests splash around in pools, regular Tongans must sit at home contemplating their faith. It's like having a countrywide mandatory rest day enforced by actual law enforcement. Number 14. Tongan men are legally required to wear skirts called tupenu. Tongan men wear a tupenu, a cloth that is similar to a sarong which is wrapped around the waist. But here's the kicker. It's not just tradition, it's actually enforced. It is a law that males over a certain age must wear proper covering. Imagine showing up to a business meeting in New York wearing what looks like a skirt, but in Tonga, showing up in pants to certain formal occasions would be the equivalent cultural faux pas. The tupenu isn't just casual wear either. These men's skirts are serious business attire, worn to court, to church, to government meetings. Even the young men, if wearing shorts, will wear shorts that cover the knees unless they are playing sports. American tourists often do double takes watching Tongan businessmen in full formal tupenu conducting million-dollar deals while looking like they're wearing traditional Scottish kilts. Number 13. Tonga has a third gender that's completely accepted and celebrated. Tonga has a cultural acceptance of a unique gender identity called whakalaiti. These individuals are assigned male at birth but take on feminine roles in society. The whakalaiti play a distinctive and respected role in Tongan culture. Think progressive Western cities are leading on LGBTQ+ acceptance? Well, this tiny Pacific island has been openly celebrating gender fluidity for centuries. Whakalaiti aren't marginalized or hidden. They're often the life of parties, respected community members, and sometimes even preferred employees in certain businesses. Picture walking through Nuku'alofa and seeing whakalaiti confidently strutting down the street in full feminine attire, completely integrated into daily life, while many Western countries still debate bathroom policies. They often become successful business owners, entertainers, and community leaders. It's like having a society where being different isn't just tolerated, it's genuinely celebrated and valued. Number 12. The entire country shuts down for 24 hours every single week. On Sundays, everything is shut on Tonga's main island. We're not talking about just shops closing early, this is complete societal shutdown. Under Tongan law, business activities and work are prohibited on Sundays and public transport is unavailable. Imagine if every Sunday in America, all stores, restaurants, gas stations, and buses just stopped operating. No Amazon deliveries, no emergency food runs, no catching that bus to work. The streets become eerily quiet, like a zombie apocalypse movie where everyone just decided to stay home and pray instead of fleeing. Even hotels can't technically serve their guests meals on Sundays, though many find creative workarounds. It's economically insane by Western standards, losing 14% of potential business revenue every year just for religious observance. Yet somehow, this tiny island nation maintains this practice while global capitalism rages around them. Number 11. Tonga is the only Pacific nation that was never colonized by Europeans. From at least the 10th century, CE Tonga was ruled by a line of sacred kings and queens, the Tui Tonga, while every other island nation around them fell to British, French, German or American control. Tonga's rulers were clever enough to play European powers against each other. Picture tiny Tonga, with fewer people than a mid-sized American town, successfully negotiating with the British Empire at its peak, and maintaining independence. They signed treaties as equals, not as conquered subjects. The current royal family traces their lineage back over 1,000 years, making them one of the world's oldest continuous monarchies. It's like David versus Goliath, except David had better lawyers and Goliath had colonial ambitions. This means Tongan culture remained largely intact while neighboring islands lost their languages, traditions, and land to foreign powers. Today, they're still proudly wearing those tupanu and conducting kava ceremonies exactly as their ancestors did centuries ago. Number 10. Being fat is literally considered beautiful and high status in Tonga. Despite being a highly obese population, there is little stigma attached to being overweight, as one might find in many Western civilizations. Like a great number of South Pacific cultures, large bodies are often revered. We're talking about a complete reversal of Western beauty standards. Much of this is related to the nation's cultural love of food and eating, as well as the modern influx of cheap and high-fat content meat, with corned beef and lamb belly remaining firm favorites in Tongan cuisine. Imagine visiting a country where gym memberships are seen as suspicious and being thin means people assume you're poor or sick. In traditional Tongan society, having a large body signals prosperity, fertility, and good health. Western tourists often experience culture shock seeing Tongan beauty pageants where contestants would be considered plus size by American standards, yet they're celebrated as the epitome of feminine beauty. It's like stepping into an alternate reality where every body positivity movement's dream society actually exists. The irony, Western influence is slowly changing these attitudes, creating the opposite problem of their neighbors. Number 9. Tonga has one of the world's most complex and rigid social hierarchy systems still functioning today. The social stratification in Tonga makes British class systems look casual. You have nobility, commoners, and everyone knows exactly where they stand. Pronounced social stratification discourages marriages between people of vastly different social status. Picture trying to date in a society where your family's ancient ranking determines not just who you can marry, but where you sit at public events, who speaks first in meetings, and even which side of the street you walk on. Noble families own most of the land, and commoners essentially lease their entire lives from them. It's like medieval feudalism survived intact into the 21st century, complete with actual lords and peasants using smartphones. Even successful business people must show deference to nobles who might have less money but higher birth status. American concepts of self-made success mean nothing when your great-great-grandfather's title determines your social ceiling. Yet this system provides social stability and cultural continuity that many modern societies lack. Number 8. Kava ceremonies in Tonga are so formal they make Japanese tea ceremonies look casual. Tongan kava ceremonies are a variety of ceremonies involving the kava plant that play an integral part of Tongan society and governance. These aren't just social drinking sessions, they're elaborate political and social rituals with strict protocols. They play a role in strengthening cultural values and principles, solidifying traditional ideals of duty and reciprocity, reaffirming societal structures. Picture walking into what looks like a casual gathering, only to discover there are complex rules about who sits where, who serves whom, and in what exact order the bitter, muddy-tasting drink gets passed around. Make one wrong move, sit in the wrong spot, speak out of turn, or God forbid, refuse the kava, and you've just insulted half the room and possibly violated centuries of protocol. The drink itself tastes like dirty water mixed with numbing medicine, but refusing it is like slapping the host in the face. Business deals worth millions get negotiated over these ceremonies, political alliances are formed, and family disputes are resolved, all while sitting cross-legged drinking what essentially amounts to liquid tradition. Number 7. Tonga operates on Tongan time, which can mean showing up 2 to 4 hours late is, perfectly normal. Forget everything you know about punctuality. In Tongan culture, being precisely on time can actually be considered rude or even overeager. Social events, business meetings, even weddings. They all operate on flexible schedules that would probably give Western efficiency experts nightmares. Imagine scheduling an important business meeting for 10 a.m., showing up promptly with your PowerPoint all ready, only to end up sitting in an empty office until 2 in the afternoon when people start casually wandering in, kind of wondering why you look so stressed. But this isn't disrespect. It's really just a cultural priority on relationships over, rigid scheduling. Tongans will spend hours properly greeting everyone, asking about families, and making sure all social obligations are met before getting to the business at hand. It's like living in a world where human connection totally trumps productivity metrics. And the irony? This relaxed approach to time often leads to deeper, more meaningful interactions than rapid-fire Western business culture ever achieves. Number 6. Women in Tonga must cover their knees and elbows at all times, even while swimming. Women generally avoid wearing short skirts or low-neck dresses because modesty is really valued here. Women must cover their knees and elbows, and men are usually dressed in pants or a tupanu, a cloth-wrapped skirt, and they don't show their knees either. And yeah, this goes for swimming too. Imagine being a Western female tourist all excited about tropical beaches only to discover you need to swim fully clothed or risk, serious cultural offense and possibly even legal trouble. We're talking about swimming in long pants and long sleeves in 85-degree tropical water. Tight-fitting or revealing clothing is discouraged, which means even athletic wear designed for tropical climates just becomes inappropriate. Picture Olympic swimmers trying to compete while dressed like they're heading to a conservative church service. The beach scenes honestly look like Victorian-era seaside photographs, with women wearing flowing dresses that billow around them in the water. Meanwhile, Western tourists struggle in waterlogged clothing, trying to maintain both dignity and cultural respect. It's kind of like time travel to a more modest era, except it's happening right now in 2025. Number 5. Tonga has a constitutional monarchy where the king legally owns every single inch of land in the country. Every house, every business, every farm, it all exists on land that ultimately belongs to the royal family. Commoners can't actually own real estate, they hold hereditary leases that can be passed down but never truly sold. Picture discovering that your American dream of homeownership literally doesn't exist in an entire country. When Tongans say they're buying a house, they're really purchasing the building and the right to use the land, but the king maintains ultimate ownership. This creates a pretty surreal economic system where millionaire business people are technically just tenants of the royal family. Land disputes get resolved by appealing to nobles rather than courts, and whole family inheritances can be complicated by these ancient tenure systems. It's like medieval feudalism with modern SUVs and smartphones. The system does provide stability and prevents foreign land grabs, but it also means economic mobility has very real, legal ceilings built right into the constitution itself. Number 4. Tongans have created their own unique version of rugby that's so violent it makes American football look like tennis. Traditional Tongan rugby takes the already aggressive sport and removes most safety regulations. Players often compete without protective gear, and their tackling techniques would honestly horrify Western coaches. Injuries that would sideline American athletes for months are, treated as minor inconveniences. Just picture watching what looks like organized warfare disguised as sport, where 250-pound Polynesian men collide with the force of small vehicles and then get up laughing. The cultural attitude toward pain and injury in sports reflects broader Tongan concepts of masculinity and endurance. While Western sports medicine focuses on injury prevention, Tongan rugby culture sees surviving punishment as character building. Games often continue despite conditions that would halt professional matches elsewhere. Muddy fields, equipment failures, even serious weather. The spectacle becomes part celebration, part community gathering, and part gladiatorial combat, with entire villages turning out to watch their champions literally battle neighboring communities. Number 3. Tonga's post office once issued heart-shaped stamps that became more valuable than their currency. Tonga's postage stamps, featuring colorful and often unusual designs, including heart-shaped ones, became international collector phenomena. These weren't just novelty items, they represented serious economic strategy for a small nation. Picture a tiny Pacific island discovering that quirky postage stamps could generate more foreign revenue than traditional exports. The heart-shaped stamps, along with other unusual designs, became so sought after by international collectors that their value actually exceeded Tonga's own currency exchange rates. It's kind of like discovering that Pokemon cards are worth more than actual money in your economy. The stamps featured everything from tropical birds to royal portraits to abstract art, turning Tonga's post office into an inadvertent art gallery and economic powerhouse. Western philatelists would pay premium prices for stamps that cost just pennies to produce, creating one of history's most successful examples of small nation economic creativity. The irony? A country most Americans couldn't even locate on a map was generating serious wealth through clever marketing to those same Americans. Number 2. Tonga sits directly on the international dateline, making it technically the first place on Earth to see each new day. But here's where it gets weird. They moved their entire time zone in 2011 to stay synchronized with their major trading partners, essentially jumping forward in time overnight. Picture being in a country that literally skipped December 30th, 2011. It went from December 29th straight to December 31st. Calendars became useless, scheduled events disappeared into a kind of temporal void, and Tongans experienced the bizarre sensation of losing an entire day of their lives for economic convenience. This wasn't just a minor adjustment, it fundamentally altered their relationship with global time zones, and created logistical nightmares for international business. Imagine trying to explain to your boss that you missed work because your entire country jumped forward through time. The decision meant Tonga could no longer claim to be the first to see tomorrow, losing a major tourism marketing point for practical business reasons. It's like science fiction becoming, well, mundane government policy. Number 1. Tonga has the highest obesity rate in the world, with over 90% of adults classified as overweight, yet they have some of the strongest people on the planet. Much of this is related to the nation's cultural love of food and eating, as well as the modern influx of cheap and high-fat content meat. But here's the shocking part. These same overweight people routinely produce world-class athletes in rugby, weightlifting, and other strength sports. Picture a country where medical charts say everyone is unhealthy, yet their national rugby team dominates international competitions, and their weightlifters break world records. The contradiction really exposes flaws in Western health metrics when applied to Polynesian genetics and lifestyle. Traditional Tongan diet and lifestyle created naturally powerful physiques, but modern processed foods created obesity statistics without necessarily reducing functional strength. Tongan construction workers can carry loads that would require machinery elsewhere, and their traditional dance requires athleticism that would challenge professional dancers. It's like discovering a place where every stereotype about fitness and health gets completely inverted, where being overweight by medical definitions doesn't prevent incredible physical performance and cultural vitality. So, we've just discovered Tonga's most mind-bending secrets, from time-jumping islands to legally mandated skirts for men. Which one shocked you the most? Have you ever experienced anything this culturally different? Subscribe for more hidden truths about places that will completely change how you see the world.